Hello, everyone. Welcome. Wednesday, not Tai Chi, meditation. So, hope you're getting settled in. We'll just do a little recap while we're here, waiting for the time to start. And hope you've enjoyed the replays of the live session, or if you've already caught this before. And I'm Andy Barkworth, and onpathhealingarts.com. And you know all the stuff about subscribing and sharing if it calls to you to do so. And you can catch up with us throughout the week. Right now, we're hosting some stuff live on YouTube and along with some other things down the road. And you're always welcome to join us also through the website and register for the Tai Chi and Qigong class on Tuesday mornings, 8 a.m. Arizona time, and Wednesday, 11 a.m. Arizona time meditation, and Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Kung Fu fitness. So using Kung Fu training as a form of mobility and fitness training. So just a quick recap. Meditation is oftentimes misunderstood, and definitely was for me coming up in my practices, and it wasn't my favorite thing to do either. It was hard for me to sit still, so I tended towards the movement-based meditations or relaxation practices like Tai Chi and Qigong stretching and things like that. And over time, I was able to slow down enough to really be able to tune inward and get still and tune into that inner space. So it can take time. Be patient with yourself. And just like life happens, meditation happens. So I can choose to practice meditation. I can't necessarily decide ahead of time and predict it and anticipate and expect what the outcome will be. So if I engage in a regular practice or semi-regular practice, then I become more likely to slip into different states of brainwave patterns, different states of frequency, and experience different states of healing and connection in the body, and better insight and understanding of our own selves. So this is fairly synonymous with relaxation is another way to view this. Meditation really is also another aspect of prayer, that kind of space we get into. And typically the way that I might meditate actually waiting in, a waiting room somewhere. I might be doing some kind of stillness or centering practice while I'm waiting in line at the bank or something. So I can use it in the world or in my workplace, but I can also have it be very subtle and nobody else really sees what's going on. And so depending on my environment, how much time I have, if I have 30 seconds, I might take a deep breath, just, just tune in for a second. So there's really, it doesn't have to be this lengthy thing. It could be minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, just taking a pause through a busy day just to get centered. Can be as a way to, we get our schedule and our day organized. But to me, it's most important to get myself organized, to get my energy, my mind, my body, breath, emotions, kind of figure out where I'm at and stage myself so that the rest of my day has a better chance of going smoothly, and that I can be more intuitive and in harmony and responsive to my day rather than things building up and exploding at some point, or collapsing, or some kind of unraveling that occurs. That if things have been built up and I haven't had a chance to check in, then I might have some difficulty once that hits me. So I know we've all experienced like boom, things, or the universe gets us, we get sick and we have to slow down. So we can create our own internal pressures. We can create our own practice to where we can do it a little by little and let things calibrate and shift incrementally, so we don't have to have this big thing happen. Although spontaneous awakenings and realizations and actualization can take place, of course, but usually that's because it's been built up to that, and that's kind of what is happening now. So it's kind of one of those things where, um, when it's the right time, it will happen, or not. If the right time doesn't arrive for you, for certain things, that's okay too. We're not all on the same journey. So, last moment basics. I definitely encourage you to watch some of the first couple live sessions as we go into some of the more basic ideas of meditation and just sitting and breathing and just kind of exploring different realms of things. And always take it the right way for you. Always take it or leave it. What's best for you. And anytime you hit a sweet spot and I'm still going on something, and stay there and stay in that sweet spot and vibe with it. If it's like too much, not right now, then hands on the legs somewhere, rub your body, take a deep breath, shake it off, walk around, and maybe you're done. Maybe that was enough for today, and try again another time. Um, and back to like some of the meditation basics, it kind of depends on my purpose, what I'm, into, preparing myself to pray, or spiritual connection, that kind of thing, enlightenment, if you will, transcendent um, experience, expansion. Or am I into, I need to relax my body and I'm healing something, or I'm healing myself emotionally, or there's something going on in my life, and I just really need to tune in and maybe really touch base with how am I really feeling, what's really going on, and get centered and get relaxed and get out of the stress mode. So sometimes it's just about that, just about resting my eyes and deep breathing and getting, still, um, gather myself. You could also do that through body movement and other things like a walk, music, all kinds of ways to go about all this stuff. I don't have the only way and I don't have the best way. This is just what I've learned and what I've experienced and what I might share with you at this time. My purpose might be, meditating on solu- coming up with a solution to something going on in my life, or something came up big and heavy, and I'm like, oh, maybe I need to meditate on that and dig into that a little bit. Maybe little by little, I might be able to, resolve something in my life or within myself. So there's all kinds of reasons why we might come to something like meditation or relaxation, or just being able to focus the mind and just to be able to, harness the power of the mind, all kinds of things. So what's my purpose? How much time do I have? Do I need to set a timer? I'm out in the world. Do I need to just keep my eyes open or squint my eyes or be real subtle with it? Or maybe a moment in my car before I go in for that meeting, just to get centered, take some breaths, quiet myself, get centered. Um, Yeah, so our environment, how much time, our purpose. There's one more. It's not coming to me, so we'll come back to that. So I don't know if everybody's here or nobody's here. That's okay too. I guess I could check the YouTube thing. Uh, all right. Oh, well, I guess we have one watching. Nice. I am not above doing this alone. Uh, the secret to teaching is that it's really for me, and the things that I'm sharing are really for me, and as well possibly for you. So let's dig in. Okay, so I'm gonna go from one ottoman that you don't see to my other ottoman, which you can see. And I typically will have cover for my eyes. I like to, reduce some of the sensory information when I meditate, but sometimes I meditate with my eyes open or eyes squinting. Depends on your environment, what you feel comfortable with. Um, we would say in our practice, evacuate the system. So it might blow your nose, might, clear things out a little bit, might use the restroom. If you need a moment to do that, we're still getting set up. I have a little extra pillow, a little faithful meditation pillow, and this ottoman. I like the ottoman because I can, depending on what I'm up to, I can actually do a practice from my chair. Could be on a couch or your edge of your bed or edge of your seat somewhere, but without the arms, for me, it's comfortable. Um, One of my spots is to actually have an ottoman up against the wall, just in case I want back support or my body wants that at the time. So I'm just gonna have a seat, and actually, before we have a seat, we're going to bookend our practice. So if our main thing is about stillness and relaxation, I'm going to do a little bit of movement before and after. And if my main activity is movement, then I'm going to have some stillness before and after, maybe in the middle. And likewise, I might have a part of my meditation, I might get up and move a little bit. That's just what my body wants, then that's fine by me, right? So there's schools of thought of, adhering directly and only to what's prescribed and the method and the system, and there's a benefit to the training aspect. But the training aspect is really just so we get acquainted and get familiar with what does that feel for me? What's right for me? What's good for my body, my disposition, my mood, all those kinds of things. How much energy do I have today? Am I really already depleted and in distress, or am I tip top? And so I'm just gonna move the body a little bit. I have all kinds of YouTube videos and things about different exercises and qigong and warm-ups and stuff. So I'm not really going to take you through a formalized set at the moment. And if you feel like we're going too fast or you don't catch on to what's happening right away, don't worry about it. Just do your own thing. All right, so we're just getting the body opened up. The most important throughout any range of stillness to movement-based stuff is that the breath is involved. We have conscious breathing, and it doesn't have to be controlled, though sometimes we will control the breath and breathe in specific ways and spaces in the body. But just having awareness of the breath is a vital key to anything we do. So let's adjust the breath. Exhale. With or without the hands, with or without the big sound. Deep breath in. If I'm out in the world, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd make it a little more subtle. I wouldn't be as loud. Unless I want to get to the front of the line of something. We're just priming the pump. We call this adjusting the breath. And that shifts our physiology, shifts our energy level, and invites our body into a state of relaxation. And even if it takes me a few rounds of that, or maybe weeks and months and years of practice before my body actually responds to anything I'm doing, I keep practicing because I know at some point in time that could change. That what was once not part of my experience and reality may come into being. Things that I might anticipate and things that I could never anticipate could open up for me. Just stand for a moment, and if you're already seated, everything we just did you could do from a chair. Encourage you to always find the level and positions and such that's right for you. All right, so we're gonna have a seat. I'll go ahead and put my little cap on over my eyes. You might have like a face mask around or a scarf or something, or just like to have your eyes open, or you could squint, just barely letting the outside world in. Just make yourself comfortable, and if you were standing and now seated, or you were already seated, just move around a little bit. Right now I have my feet flat to the earth. I'm in a comfortable height seat that's comfortable. You might have to lower yourself or get another pillow or something. Oftentimes I'll sit cross-legged or half lotus, and sometimes full lotus. I do a lot of standing meditation as well. But I'm just kind of rocking myself back and forth, and now I bring my awareness to my breath. Just aware of the fact that my breath is coming in and out of my body. My lungs inflate and deflate, fill and empty. Now invite my breath to go a little bit deeper, as if my lungs were the length of my torso, as if my lungs extended into my abdomen, into my belly. And bring my awareness to my breath, awareness to the sensation of the breath in my body. Sometimes we might feel a little numb, and if you're not feeling things, or things haven't shown up yet, or you don't know how to get there just yet, don't worry too much. Don't worry at all. Just do it the best you can today, little by little. Things change, things grow. I can deepen my breath even further by squeezing my belly as I exhale. Let my belly expand as I inhale. One of the purposes of the deep controlled breathing and of practicing conscious breathing is that it helps to restore our natural breath. Our natural breath signifies that we've moved into a state of parasympathetic, that we have entered into the relaxation, recover, and rejuvenate state, that we are in a state of being that the body redirects its energy and its blood flow and activities into long-term thriving, cellular activity and digestion, absorption, elimination, immunological processes, all the things that get put to the back burner when we get into stress mode and we have to survive the next handful of minutes. The body no longer cares about finishing and releasing the digestion of a sandwich or a meal, no longer cares about keeping up with long-term immunity. It won't matter if we haven't survived the next few minutes. In our modern time, though there are many of us that still encounter life and death situations and dangerous situations, for the majority of us, in addition to that, or instead of that, we have these daily stressors, these what do I do about life? Stress of work. These little psychological and emotional stressors, and not that they're all little, but the things that we don't actually get to fight and use the body, or run and use the body, or hide. We don't actually use the physiological survival mechanism that has been triggered in the sympathetic. So in those moments when we become stressed and the body prepares to survive, most of the time we're not actually fighting anything physically or running physically. So those stress byproducts, the chemicals, get stored and they build up in the body. There might be a return stress experience from a trauma in the past, as if the body relives it each time triggered. So when we take a moment to breathe and we settle the breath and we restore the natural breath, we let it be slow and deep and rhythmic, gentle. Return ourselves to the state that at any point in time as an infant or a baby or a toddler, that we were content and at peace, that all of our needs were met, at least for one moment. Then the diaphragm would move more, the breath would slow down, and we'd rest into that healing state, the natural state. So now I invite my body and my mind, my nervous system, my emotions, my thoughts, to pay attention to how I breathe in this moment. Just as strong emotions and strong situations and stress can change the way we breathe and move the breath to higher, shallower breathing. In turn, if I experience those things, I can slow down my breath. I could take those 3 deep adjusting breaths, the cleansing breaths, as a way to reset my system, as a way to regain my center, even if I'm not entirely calmed or peaceful by the end of my 3 deep breaths. I've signaled to my body that actually I'm okay. This was emotionally upsetting, this was momentarily dangerous, or that was psychologically challenging. But really, my body is not in danger. So it signals to my system that though I am alarmed, that I am also safe and okay enough. So by returning to my natural breath, slow, deep breath in the belly, I tell my system that it's okay to be at my center, to be aware of what's happening inside and aware of what's happening outside. And like coming to the eye of the storm, those things may be happening around me and in my life and even within me, that I can come to a place that is a stronger position, a centered position. Just breathe into the belly, in and out. Invite your body, your muscles to soften and relax. Just trusting in the skeletal, muscular system, the soft tissue system to hold you in place. If we need to lean back and have support, or we need to lie down, there's certain practices and breathing techniques that are best done upright, whether seated or standing. But for now, everything we're doing is really gentle, and lying down is just fine. I invite my body to relax, to let go. If my mind has been chewing on lists of things and worries and future, or rehashing stories and living in the past somehow, I invite my mind to let go. Though those thoughts may not stop, I can just watch them come and go. And as my mind might get pulled into that conversation within myself, I allow my mind to bring its attention, to bring the awareness to the breath, to the sensations of the breath in the body, to the movement of my abdomen and my chest, belly expanding and contracting, the chest inflating, deflating. Anytime I need to adjust my body, I'm comfortable sitting or standing still for long periods of time. I'm always free to move, so if I feel tightness or something build up or just something shows up and I'm like, wow, what is that? I can breathe, I can squeeze a little bit, I can move a little bit, and I might shake it up, shake it out, stand up for a moment, might open my eyes, right, rub my hands, put my hands on my eyes, do whatever feels good. And then if I still have time and I still feel the inclination, the impulse to continue on, then I can continue on. I can do that kind of stuff as often or as little as what's right for me. So now we're going to include another layer of the practice, and if that layer is too much for you, then skip it. Anytime we go onward or we add another awareness or a position of the body or the tongue or the eyes, and you're just not feeling it today, let that go. Try again another time. Maybe it's just not right for today. Maybe there's a few more stages and steps to acquire and to build before that particular something will work for you in the way that would be supportive and comfortable and beneficial to your life. So as we continue our awareness of the breath in and out of the belly, the soft, gentle sensation of the belly expanding and the chest expanding on the inhale, the chest compressing, the belly compressing on the exhale. You might even follow that sensation up and down the body with each breath, that as I breathe in, I feel my belly expand and then my chest. As I breathe out, I feel my chest compress and then my belly. And if it feels right and comfortable, we're going to bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. We're going to start with a position just slightly behind the hard palate. There are several, if not many, tongue positions. Even if you try that and it doesn't feel comfortable or right today, then just lay your tongue flat against the roof of your mouth, the tip of your tongue pointed towards your teeth, without your tongue pushing into the teeth themselves. There's all kinds of details and different things that are happening, and it's all happening anyway. And as we grow our awareness and our attention and our ability to enhance and to participate in what's happening, that whole experience can grow. But I don't need to know the details for it to be working for me. The body knows what to do. It doesn't require our input to exist, though it sometimes needs our support or healing therapies or procedures. But in and of itself, when it's in a state of relaxation and balance, it knows how to take care of its inner workings. I think we would all go a little bit crazy if we had to track every breath and every heartbeat and every cell in the body and every atom, every molecule, every thing at once. We're very fortunate that we have this background program running things for us. But we can bring our awareness to the sensation of the heartbeat, the sensation of the breath in the body, the sensation of our muscles and our skin. Just allowing the spine to be nice and upright. Breathing in and out of the belly. Tip of the tongue, the roof of the mouth, just closer towards the throat, just past the hard palate. And again, just relax your tongue entirely if that's not comfortable. With the teeth either lightly separated, as if you could slide a sheet or two of paper between your teeth, or very gently connected, as if you were gently holding a sheet of paper between your teeth. You're not trying to chew and grind on it. But try each one, very lightly connected or very lightly separated. Whichever one relaxes my jaw the most is the place for me. As I breathe in and out through the belly, feel the sensations of the breath in the body, with or without the tongue position, with or without the controlled or the intentional jaw and teeth position, whatever's feeling right. Teeth lightly separated or lightly touching, tongue tip on the roof of the mouth, just into the soft palate. Breath in and out of the belly. There's additional layers of connection, signals to the nervous system and body, the mind, the energy, our emotions. Everything's happening simultaneously and for the most part without our conscious effort or awareness. But we can shift our attention. We can grow our awareness to include things that we might not have included before in our reality. Most of us think of our body as the physical form, and that's the most dense form of who we are. But I might even allow myself and become more sensitive and aware to the energy that flows in, around, and through my body, my personal space. Just as my mind can think outside of my body, my emotions can extend to another, can extend outside my body. So too, my body, in a sense, is beyond the physical form. I might begin to include the awareness and claim the space of my body and claim the space around my body, above my head and beneath my feet, to the front, to the back, and to the sides, in all directions. Breathe in and out through the belly. Teeth lightly separated or lightly touching. Tip of the tongue and the soft palate to the roof of the mouth or laid flat across the hard palate. Breath slow, gentle, deep, abdominal. Anytime I feel tension build up or pain or discomfort, I'm free to move and adjust. Might even pause and take a nice big deep breath. Squeeze my body for a moment and let it go with a cleansing universal sound of relief. Maybe I find a sweet spot and just stay there, hang out there for a while. Maybe I had my feet on the ground and now I want to sit cross-legged, or maybe I was lying down and I want to sit up, or sitting up and I want to lie down, or I want to stand up. Right now we're starting with the seated practice, but much of my daily practice is standing, or really a balance of the two. Sometimes I take a nap before my evening class. Sometimes I take a meditation nap. To go to sleep, but to relax and get quiet. Let my body recover a little bit before I ask more of my system and my energy, my body, mind. So continue to breathe into the belly. Sometimes I find that I sway and rock. Everything's vibrating and moving, whether it's visible to the eye or not. So it's okay if I let my body move a little bit, if that's relaxing and comfortable to me. Tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, breathing in and out. Teeth lightly separated or connected. And if we can breathe in and out through the nose, then we breathe in and out through the nose. We might be finding that we're experiencing emotions or something's going on, so I might breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth as a way to release, to cleanse, to let go. It's that season and time of year maybe, or you just don't have a lot of capacity at the moment to breathe through the nose. So breathe in and out through the mouth, but kind of gently purse the lips like you're sipping through a straw. Both of those help to slow down the inhale and exhale. If I just gulp it in, I actually might be able to, well, over time you can take a deep breath no matter how quick it is, but a lot of times when we take those gulping breaths, they're almost like a panting. It's a very shallow breath, middle section intercostal breath, and I want to let that breath get low into the lungs, into the lobes of the lungs. As we slow down the breath, we increase our gas exchange, taking in oxygen into the bloodstream, into the system and organs and glands, body, and releasing materials from the body, releasing gases that are not needed in our system. Just breathing in and out. There's other awarenesses in the body and positions of the eyes and various things that we can do at various times. This is a good place to start. Breathing in and out. In and out through the nose if we can, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. If we need to, in and out through the mouth. Whatever is most relaxing to my jaw, teeth lightly touching or lightly separated. And if I wish, I can point the tip of my tongue to the roof of my mouth. And maybe I take my eyes and my eyes closed or open. I could look up towards the top of my eye socket, towards the center between my eyes. can listen to the sound of my breath internally, even if it's not making an audible external sound. So the tongue is in the roof of my mouth. I might feel the breath more in the back of my neck, back of my throat. I might hear the sound. While I hear the sound of my breath, I can feel the movement of my breath up and down my body, from chest to belly, from belly to chest, and feel the sensations of my breath. And if holding your eyes in place and looking up is uncomfortable, then it's also nice to look down instead, or just let the eyes be neutral. For me, I hold various tongue positions throughout my day for a good part of my day. And I do a lot of controlled and breath regulation and conscious breathing. So I'm very comfortable with that, and it's very natural for me now. But if that's just all new and it can take a moment or two of each of those things, and some of them are not for you right now at all, just give yourself time to get acquainted, to practice, to try it, and then let it go and try it again some other time. And if I find something that I really like, that my body really likes, or is soothing to my mind and nervous system, or calming to my emotions, then I might go ahead and just spend time on that one thing. Holding multiple awarenesses is really just a practice of building up one awareness at a time until it becomes so natural and effortless that we can have an awareness of it without really having to be involved with the process that's taking place. So until that happens for you, if you find something that's sweet, that's nice, that feels good to your system, your body, your mind, your emotions, then just do that for a bit. Doesn't matter if the class has moved on to something else. And even if I decide to join the rest of the class with what's happening now, maybe I just go ahead and do it for the practice sake, but let go of the worry or intention that I need to acquire it right now. Maybe it's just a chance to be exposed to something new, but it's not yet for me to take on. I'm free at any time to make this suit me, to suit you, the way that is best. Just continue breathing in and out through the belly, gentle, slow, and deep. It's the main awareness to keep. And if it's not distracting or uncomfortable, then I can gently separate or connect my teeth lightly and invite my face and jaw to relax. And if that's feeling good, I can place the tip of my tongue on the roof of my mouth to the soft palate. There are other positions and methods of tongue use in relaxation, meditation. But flat for now, or tip and just to the start of the soft palate is a good place to start. And if I like to for a while, I might point my eyes up towards the center of my head. Or I might take my eyes and look down towards my belly. A lot of times holding our breath gets a bad rep because oftentimes if we're holding our breath while we're stressed out, it's because we're afraid or we're uncertain, something's going on. But actually holding our breath in or out is a very key and potent practice. And we'll get into that more, but if you ever notice that I take a deep breath and hold it in, or I take a deep breath and I hold it out, I hold myself empty, that in this case I'm doing so intentionally. Those are some of the areas we'll talk about: pressure and vacuum, and squeeze and release, and talk about the various methods of breathing, rapid breathing and slow deep breathing and natural breath, and all kinds of things that we'll explore. Sometimes I find something that's just right for me at this time in my life and my body, and I really get into that for a while, and other things not so much. Sometimes I find that those things that I didn't like so much at one time actually become some of my favorite things down the road when I'm prepared and I'm ready for that. Above all else, we honor our truth without harming others, that I am always my highest authority, and if each of you so. Granted that I'm in my center, that I'm relatively balanced and peaceful. Sometimes what feels like my true self when I'm in a state of upheaval, alarm, or disruption, dissonance, might feel justified and might feel compelled to behave or do certain things that I might later realize that that really wasn't the best thing, but perhaps a necessary thing so I could learn. So I always listen to the wisdom of my body. It tells me what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what to do more of, what to wait on. Let's continue to breathe in and out through the belly. Now let's do a little bit more movement. You can open your eyes if you like, or if you're in a sweet spot and you want to keep your eyes closed and just coast out for however long you want to, then just stay there. If you're ready to come out of it, then go ahead and start moving your body around. Have dozens and dozens of formalized practices and systems and methods and routines. Each one has a slightly different flavor, or at the end of the day, they're all doing about the same thing, whether it's more body or more mind or more breath or more energy or whatever it happens to be. At the end of the day, it's all about the same, just a different access point, different way to engage. So I'm just going to kind of move around a little bit. That type of breathing, what we just did just now, is kind of helping to set the stage for some of the things that we're going to do later on. For some people, that's so boring, or we're so distracted, we just don't even really catch what's happening, and that's okay too. Just like life happens, meditation happens, and it's choosing to do something because something inside of me recognizes that that actually could be good for me, even though right now it feels like torment. And early days, whenever my teachers were going into something that was like standing still or seated, it's like, oh no, let's move, and it was difficult for me. So, but over time, and it's different for everybody how long that is. And for some people, it's a very natural and a very comfortable thing to do, and they're really adept at it. And they're like, "Yeah, you're playing my song, and I know this dance," and right into it. And for others, it takes a while to shift the states of mind from, beta, external thinking, hyper analytical thinking, worry thoughts, stress mode, into alpha state. Entry level state of relaxation and meditation. It's the state that we need to pass through to fall asleep. The mind has to shift gears from what's happening in the world and making lists and figuring things out to, okay, now I'm more aware of my body. I'm slowing down. My thoughts slow down some. And then while we're sleeping, we're in and out of alpha, theta, and delta states. And just like that natural process, we can tune into that same function through things like movement-based meditation. So if Tai Chi and yoga and Qigong and having a little bit of movement, giving my mind a job to do, to tell, just to figure out what's going on with my hands, at least it helps me get out of thinking about stuff and into my body more. That's really a very important thing. So I might not be able to jump into seated meditation and standing postures and being still, like, ugh. If I don't respond well to that, cool. Do some yoga. Go for some nature walks. Tai Chi. Go swimming. Do something that engages, gives the mind something to do, but focus on that and focus on the breathing while you're doing it. That'll bring you into that more focused state. And so as we're able during the day to be able to tune in, to take pauses, to breathe deep, to exercise some amount of intentional stillness and breathing, then when we're getting ready for bed at night, where our system is more responsive and recognizes, oh, instead of just having to suddenly crash and knock right out, some of us, whine, and run until we crash, and that's about as good as it gets. Or watch TV till we fall asleep, and I've been known to do that too. It happens, right? But it's being able to slow down the breath and slow down the mind and calm the emotions that allows us into that entry state of, aware of inside and outside. I can still do things like my work, and I can still drive my car. I can be in start entering that state of creativity, music, art, high level athletics. It's like, getting into that zone, getting into that flow, that focus, where it doesn't matter if I'm empty of mind and perfectly still and peaceful and relaxed, or if I'm actually engaged in the world, but I'm also in my center and I'm able to interact with people in my life and situations and things where I become more responsive than reactive. I become more emotionally intelligent. I become more calm and focused of my mind, so that whatever the best possible choice and solution in that moment, even if it's crazy and shit's going everywhere, then I can still find that eye of the storm. Even if I get pulled out for a second, I can bring myself back here and then, collect myself and then make that choice. So that's a lot maybe to take in. But there's all kinds of ways to go about this. So certainly this isn't the only or the best way. And but I hope you find it helpful. I hope it serves you in what you're going through and living. And sometimes it's about, going through the healing process and rehabbing and recovering and building up strength. And sometimes that's where we're at. And sometimes we're feeling pretty good, and now we're ready to step out a little bit more and grow and be a little stronger and be more of who we truly are in the world, whether that's out in the world or that's just with ourselves in our daily life and encounters with our own self, with our thoughts and our feelings and our stuff. And maybe we're tip top and we're like, we're going to the next level, and we're using this kind of stuff to really enhance and expand and the way that we live our lives and our ability to be of service to others. Hope you've enjoyed your journey. Been known to talk a little bit at times, but as we get going, I'll be talking less and we'll be doing more. You might want to stand up and move. Might have some favorite exercises to do, stretches, or go for a walk or walk around your room a few times and just work out the kinks. Take a few deep breaths. And until next time, I'll probably do some of these pretty consistently on YouTube for a little while. Eventually, that'll only be available through my website or occasionally replays. I put out a lot of material on my YouTube channel. Some are very focused, learning based, and some are guided practice, so you can focus on particular sets or a particular type of technique. Um, Eventually, a lot of that will just be on my website, and then I'll keep putting stuff out. And our system, our practice, we believe to be of service, and that though it is right to have some kind of exchange and mutual benefit, uh, we also believe that these ancient wisdoms and practices belong to everybody, and that shouldn't be withheld uh, due to lack of resources and different things. So we do like to make as much available as possible and have complete material so that you're not getting just hooked in with like, oh, well, you almost got something, but not quite. So now you have to subscribe and buy into it. Do or don't, really for real. I actually feel worse if somebody uh, participates in something because they feel compelled to or pressured to. If it's not the right time, not right thing, find something else, because I guarantee you, if you're feeling heavy about that thing, it's not right for you right now. It might be perfect for later. You might feel like, oh, I really want this. You might feel called to it even. And you try it and it's like, oh, no, maybe not yet. Listen to that. That's good. All right. Try something else, different speed of things. Gain enough experience and practice to where now every day I can choose, do I deep, long stillness meditation, or do I need to move more, or just need to lay down, or go for a walk, get out for a hike? What's really right for me today? How much time do I have? What's my environment? What's my purpose? What's going to help me right now? So that's what it's all about. So I'll continue to let you know what's going on best I can. I don't always remember to, but hopefully if you enjoy what you're doing, you continue or find something that suits you better. So that's good. Peace and love. Thanks for coming out to play. It is what I love to do. Thank you.